Welcome to our video on tips for new arrivals in Japan. This video is aimed at people who are planning to live in Japan rather than tourists, though some of the points may be useful for those who are here on a short stay as well. First, let's look at a few things that are important to do as soon as possible after arriving in Japan. The number one most important thing to do after arriving is to get your Zairyu card, or residence card. This card is your official ID in Japan and also functions as your visa. In the past, it was possible to job search on a tourist visa and change to a work visa once you found a job, but those days are over. Now you need to apply for your initial visa from outside the country, and then come to Japan once it's been approved. On your arrival, you might receive it at the airport, or your employer might have it to give to you. Within 14 days of your arrival in Japan, you need to make a visit to your local ward office to register your address of residence. You will need to show your residence card, passport, and fill out a form. This is necessary for your taxes, eligibility for local government services, and a variety of other reasons. Failure to do this can result in fines or even revocation of your residence status, so don't put this off. Once you have your Zairyu card in hand and your residence registered, it's time to make a Japanese bank account. Japanese banks are particularly strict in opening accounts for foreign nationals, so be sure to budget a bit of time for this, particularly if you aren't fluent in Japanese. Getting my first bank account when I first arrived in Japan was an ordeal because I couldn't speak Japanese, so it took a significant amount of time to understand and fill out the forms in Japanese with the help of the bank staff. My first application was also rejected by the bank manager because I made a single mistake with one of the kanji, and I had to go back to the bank another day to redo the entire application. Now that you've got the urgent things out of the way, let's look at a few general tips that will help you get set up for your life in Japan. The first general point is to take a look at your wardrobe. I came from a cool and dry climate, so I had a lot of jeans and cotton and wool shirts. My first summer was a bit of a shock, and I ended up having to put all of those clothes in the closet and buy a whole new wardrobe due to the heat and humidity. Depending on where you live in Japan, do a bit of research into the local weather over the course of an average year and plan accordingly. Summer in particular is humid, so make sure you have clothes made of breathable fabrics. Most people that move to Japan from another country don't arrive with an entire house full of furniture and household items, so you're going to need to go out and buy things that you use in your home daily. For your initial setup, I'd recommend checking out Japan's 100 yen shops like Daiso or Seria. They have a lot of useful things for cheap, and the quality is good enough to last for a while until you decide you want to upgrade to nicer things. For bulkier items, search for home centers near you. Depending on the store, you can set large items to be delivered to your home, like beds or other pieces of big furniture. And electronics can be found at electronic chain stores like Best Denki, Bic Camera, or Yodobashi Camera. Or you can shop online at Rakuten or Amazon Japan. Paying bills is handled different ways in many countries. In some countries, bills are paid by mail, others online through websites, and some are automatically charged each month from your bank account. In Japan, you don't have to deal with any of that. You'll receive your bills in the mail each month, and you can simply take them all to a convenience store, where the clerk will scan them, and then you pay for them all together with cash. Once you've settled and want to streamline things a bit, some bills can be set to paperless, which will auto-deduct monthly from your bank account. The next tip is to plan around major holidays. The biggest holiday in Japan is New Year, and the second is Obon. For both of these holidays, many Japanese travel back to their hometowns for several days. What this means for you is that travel costs in this period are very high, and probably need to be booked far in advance. Also, many small businesses will be closed to account for staff that need to either travel or to host family members. Banks are also closed for several days around New Year, though you can still use ATMs at convenience stores to pull out cash. If you want to travel during these times, start making your plans a few months ahead of time, or everything might be fully booked. For many foreigners moving to Japan, you likely still have a bank account in your home country. In the past, it was somewhat difficult to access money in foreign accounts from Japan, but these days it has become a bit easier. As long as you have a card that is a MasterCard or a Visa, you should be able to pull out cash directly at convenience store ATMs. If you're unsure, ask your bank in your home country before leaving about how to access your money from abroad to get information specific to your account. My final general tip for this video is to look into free Japanese lessons. A lot of local community centers will have free Japanese lessons of varying levels. Bigger cities will also have specific foreigner support centers that can direct you to a variety of local class options. If you plan to live in Japan, having some language ability is very important. Even a basic level will help you with general interactions at places like the supermarket or the post office. Getting that knowledge for free is something that everyone should take advantage of. Thanks for watching our video on tips for new arrivals in Japan. Hopefully the tips in this video were useful for you. If there are any other tips you'd like to add, feel free to post them in the comments. If you're interested in learning more about Japan, take a look at our Japan Culture playlist to see more videos on a variety of topics. And that's all for today's video. I'll see you next time.